travels and good luck tonight.
Thanks.
Our next guest. You all know him. We all love him. His team's not in the Eastern or Western Conference Finals. But guess who it is? This girl. And if you had told this guy that at the beginning of the season, my team is going to go further than his, he probably wouldn't have spoken to me the entire year. Let's bring him on. Hakeem Prophet.
That's the reason everybody loves me right now, because the Lakers are not here.
He's so excited. So excited to have you on. You changed your background.
Yeah, I had a guest in the front room earlier, so I had to go to the guest room, I guess.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to have you on. I feel like it's been forever since I've spoken to you outside of the toxic group chat we have with Kelly in Vegas. But that group chat can never see the light of day, or else you'll have to be murdered. So anyway, let's talk about the WNBA before we get back into the NBA playoffs. What did you see out of the first weekend that stood out?
I mean, I saw the Sky really suck. That stood out to me. Offensively, they're just not going to be good. That's not a team you want to be betting overs with. They have a lot of work to do. I think Connecticut is better than a lot of people thought they would be. They have a new coach, new team, but they're playing hard. It looks like, the system is going to work. And as long as, they don't lose and give up early, they look like, to me, they can make some money against the spread. Minnesota looks like they're well positioned to make it back to the finals. They've been winning in dominant fashion, even without a couple of their starters. Los Angeles, addition of Kelsey Plum is pretty good. I think that they have a team that can score with anybody, so that makes them dangerous. Phoenix also a really dangerous team. They're especially dangerous right now without Kalia Copper, because they're just not priced correctly. So, or at least they weren't in that last game. Maybe the books will catch up. But having Sabali and Alyssa Thomas, like, they can both create shots for the rest of the entire team. So Phoenix is pretty good. Washington continues to be up-tempo, over team, and the rookies that they have look like they're good, especially Sonya. Golden State, I need to watch more, and that's all I could think of right now.
No, it's a lot. We appreciate all of your weekend analysis. Well, you live out in Vegas. It's always been a topic of discussion how profitable betting the WNBA has been. Why is it so profitable?
Well, in general, over the years, not a lot of people have paid attention to it. I mean, more people are starting to pay attention now, but it's nothing compared to like the NFL or NBA, So it's just when a market is not being, I don't know, just they're not paying attention to it. That's all I'm really trying to say. That's when you can find some.
Have you felt in the last couple of years that it's gotten a little bit sharper because of how it's grown?
Well, yeah, because now, I mean, it never took a lot of money to move a line in the WNBA, and you see these lines move a lot. Before, you could really just get in. Like, now the lines move so fast if you don't bet them early, because more people are watching. Not everybody, but more people are watching, and the people who are watching are the ones who have the edge, because the books or the odds makers, or however you want to call it, this is not their main priority.
It's crazy because I saw that Caitlin Clark and the Fever actually had higher ratings on Sunday against Angel Reese than they did watching the Yankees in the Subway Series against the Mets. So with Caitlin Clark being as huge as she is, they played tonight, Indiana Fever. Have you noticed that with those games, we're seeing the public action, or maybe like there's two ways it could go, right? Either the public's all over her and she's mispriced, and her team too, or is the book sharper on them?
I think the lines kind of moved their way. Well, today it went against them, but I still think people bet the Fever whenever they see them on the card right now. And also, I think people run to the window and go bet the over. I think people load up on Caitlin props. So I do think the public is smashing all of those things.
But you know how, like in the NFL, when, for example, Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets and everyone was all excited about Aaron Rodgers and everyone's betting the over on the win total. And of course, the whole like injury thing happens and the under ends up hitting. But like all the sharp friends I had were betting unders on the Jets and Aaron Rodgers because they felt that the number was way too high for a Jets team just because it's Aaron Rodgers. So would you say that there's a similar thing going on in the WNBA?
Nah. I just think that I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. So tonight we've got 2 games on the slate in the WNBA. We've got the Aces and the Sun, and then the Atlanta Dream and the Indiana Fever. What would you tell bettors is the best way to approach the games?
Well, first of all, my least favorite game is the Fever and the Dream. I mean, I talked about the public goes to bet the over, but it makes sense. I mean, those are people watching the games, right? And they see all the Fever do is, I mean, I'll say like this to you. If I tell you this, you'll know already. The Fever are the WNBA's Indiana Pacers. They're the exact same team. They're going to play fast all game long. They're not playing the best defense, but they're going to be able to score with the best and, run teams into the ground. It's the same for the WNBA team. So it makes sense why you get, the market pushing these games up. And for the Dream, they are missing a point guard, Jordan Canada, but they still have enough to score. I mean, the two bigs, even though Indiana has Boston, I think they'll be able to do what they do down low. Ryan Howard didn't have the best first game. I think she can have a good game in this next one. I just see a lot of ways for them to score, especially in an up tempo game. So I lean over. But the game I really like is Connecticut and Aces. And I'm against the market, I guess, in this one. It moved from 12 to 14. I like the Sun plus 14. I think that for the Aces, they're just not where they need to be on the road laying double digits like this early in the season. They just made a big change to their team. Kelsey Plum has been a part of that rotation for years, a big part of it, and they have replaced her with Jewel Lloyd. And it's just going to take some time for that chemistry to work out. Whether it's offensively in that first game, she didn't really know where to be. Spacing was kind of messed up. Defensively, it's going to take time for everybody to get on one accord. So that first game, I mean, Liberty shot 19% from three and scored 92 points. Like that just tells you how bad the defense was for the Aces. They're just giving up like easy baskets. So until they fix that, which I don't think will be in this one game on the road, I think Connecticut has a chance. And like I mentioned earlier, new coach, new players, new system. But it looked like it was working out. The way they play is also hard to play. It's similar, like that fast playing, run teams into the ground kind of deal. And for a team that's already struggling defensively, that's it's not the easiest uh, team to fix your defense against. I think Mabry had a bad game in that first game. She shot 5 for 21. She should play better in this one. And I think the two bigs still can score on the bigs for the Aces. So I think the Sun plus the points are the right side.
Okay. There's this WNBA action, which the chat always talks about and loves the WNBA. Let's go to the NBA. We got the Western Conference Finals starting tonight. You're also taking 7.5 tonight, just like Mark Zinno says he was going to do. Is this just because it's like OKC played a game 7?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Listening to him talk, it just reinforced how I've been feeling as longer the day goes on. It just makes me sick that everybody's betting the Timberwolves and I'm on the Timberwolves. It's everybody saying the same exact thing, and it just makes me want to throw up in my mouth. I'm
I
being 100.
understand. I get the same feeling. Sometimes the public prevails, but it really sucks to be on the same side as what everyone else is doing.
Well, I'll say yes, the situation. Obviously, you can't ignore that. But just in general, I see a lot of ways for Timberwolves to have success. One, you obviously can play up tempo versus like I don't think the Thunder's defense in this first game is gonna be the best defense we're gonna see from them in this series. I think it's gonna take some time for them to adjust. So one, I think you can play up tempo to avoid what is the number one defense. And that's what the coach was talking about for the Timberwolves. And two, in the half court, I think Julius Randle is just a mismatch. Like they don't have anybody that they can put on him that like he can score on anybody. So until they double him or take the ball out of his hand, I think he's a mismatch in the half court. So I think the Timberwolves have a chance to win. So that's a combination of all those things are why I take the plus 7.5. I talked about them, playing up tempo versus good defense. And if you look at, I believe all 4 games this season have cleared. I bet it at 215, but they all were 217 plus. Um, I just think this game is going to be played the same way. So plus
Interesting.
7.5 over. I mean, I still endorse over 218, but just to be transparent, I played over 215.
I figured you had
And
a better number, but I already was like, he sends me T-Wolves and over. I go, so we go in points? We go in money line? Like, what are we doing here, Hakeem? And at that point, I said, you know what? F it. I'm just going to put the live line and we're going to just talk about it. Figured you bet these already.
Fair.
When it comes to props for this game, because you know I love my props, so we're going to talk about
Of course.
it. But before we dive in player by player, how do you assess these games when there's not a lot of a sample size? Because going back, there's only one game that Mr. Rudy Gobert and Julius Randle played out of the 4 against OKC this season.
Just matchups and how I expect teams to attack each other from what I've been watching. That's just really what it is. So I'm not so much looking at. I mean, I do look at numbers, obviously, but it's not. I don't look at regular season numbers at all, really. I mean, this is, or not saying at all. It's the last thing I look at. The first thing I'm looking at is how do they match up? What am I expecting to happen tonight? So I think I sent you 3 players that I have, interesting thoughts about. I did end up playing one as the day went
Oh,
on.
you did?
Yeah,
Who did you
so
play?
maybe I should let you guess after we talk about it. Or do you want to know?
Did you play Julius Randle?
No.
We were just talking about him before about it. You thought it was a mismatch.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I didn't though. So Julius Randle, I did not play him because I feel like yes, he's a mismatch. He can take advantage of them, but I think we're paying a premium for him right now because he's been playing
Me
so
too.
well in the playoffs. So I just think because of that, we can take a better option out of the 3. That's my thought. I don't think doesn't mean
I
he's
was
not gonna
riding
get
Rand. Well, that sounds horrible. I was riding with Randall
whoa.
props. Yep, I stopped myself. I was riding with Randall props for the entire post Steph Curry injury part of that series because for whatever reason, when Steph Curry's out, power forwards have had a ton of success against Golden State. So I was going with Julius Randle over points. Then that got a little high, and I was going over points and rebounds. So I was loving him in the last series. However, you're right. Probably it's not as much of a premium as I thought we'd be paying. It's his points prop tonight wasn't too bad. I think I saw it at. I'll double check it now.
Well, I know his PRA number was like higher than what he averages.
Yeah, it's 19.5, which is still a little bit high because we got him at 18.5 in the Golden State series, like in game 3. So now he's up to 19, and we got him to as high as 22.5 at the end of that series. So
Well, here's the
19.5,
thing.
I just feel like it's still going to be too high. He only had 9 in the first game.
Yeah, I would use PRA on him just because, if they do double him, he's gonna pass. And that'll just be open shots for other people. So it's one of those games where, especially, game 1 full out game, I would just do PRA for him. But I'm not taking it for the reasons I said earlier.
Well, Sean Michael
Gobert,
says he thinks that you're going with Gobert tonight.
absolutely not. But I mean, I could. I like
I was
Nas
going to
Reed
say, that would be real ballsy.
I like Nas Reed for a reason similar about the Gobert prop, but I was thinking Gobert unders. I was thinking that, um, like when I think about Minnesota playing on the offensive side, the one thing the Thunder can do is like, kind of leave Rudy Gobert to do whatever and just like double Ant or double Julius Randle. And if the T Wolves are smart, they're not going to continue to leave him out there to do that. They're going to put in Nas Reed. So I was thinking Gobert unders, but I just like Nas Reed overs more. And the opposite of Julius Randle, he had a couple low scoring games. So you're buying low on Nas Reed, I feel like 15
Why
and a
does he
half
match up well against OKC?
because Gobert is going to have to be off the court. And if Gobert's off the court, Nas Reed is getting all the minutes. Nas Reed also is a floor spacer and gives Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards space to work. So when you look at his games versus OKC, this is one you could do. 4 games, he averaged 33.5 points and rebounds. On the season, he averages 20.2. His prop tonight is 15 and a half because he had a couple of low scoring games in the last series. But this is one they're going to need him. I think he'll get extended minutes. And yeah, 15 and a half doesn't seem like too much to ask for me. So that's the one that I went with.
I like the thought on buying low on Nas Reed because Rudy Gobert's props are always going to be paying a premium on him, and he hasn't been good in the playoffs. Why does he drop off Gobert so much in the playoffs, except for, it's like one great game?
I like Sergio's comment.
Which one? Oh, this one.
Oh my god. All right, yeah. So Nas Reed is the one to go with for me.
Okay, I like it. There were also some interesting trends that I saw, and I wrote about them on the PropQueen.com newsletter, so I'll run them by you on some of these NBA props. Anthony Edwards points props 25.5. He only went over it in one of the 4 games against the Thunder. He had 29 points at home in Minnesota. I feel like Anthony Edwards, you could be playing a bit of a premium on too tonight, Hakeem.
That sounds right. And when I think about it, like the Thunder, if anything, their game plan is going to be not to let Anthony Edwards beat them, probably. So, I would look maybe more for his assist or maybe rebounds and assists for him, even versus
Okay.
points.
Right. His points I would stay away from tonight. SGA, great numbers this year against Minnesota. Again, all relative to the T-Wolves not having Gobert, Randall in 3 of those 4 games. But SGA put up 40, 24, 37, and 39 points. He has a 31.5 points prop.
That seems like a little bit much. I feel like Minnesota is too good of a defensive team to just let SGA go off. Like, I think their game plan is going to be to get the ball out of his hands and see what other people can do. So I think that could be a little bit too much.
Like, I wouldn't fade SGA at home. I just probably want to see how their fully loaded Minnesota Timberwolves starting rotation is against SGA. Those numbers you can't really use. So, okay,
Yeah.
no SGA.
Mm-mm.
Anyone in OKC that you would look at?
For OKC, Lou Dort, he's been pretty good making threes, especially at home. I think his number is 1.5.
Usually it
That
is.
that'd probably be one of my favorites. I mean, he's been consistent in that role, so that's the first person that comes to mind. Other than that, mm, yeah, that's the best one to me. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
have the
was
most
looking
faith in
at Lou
him.
Dort. I just can't trust him. But I don't have a problem with Lou Dort threes. I discovered that 2 years ago. It was freaking awesome. And he was like Desmond Bain for me, except a little bit more inconsistent than Desmond Bain. I want to get your thoughts on the Knicks, though, before I let you go. Also, it's great for social media to be able to post you talking about the Knicks tomorrow. Game 1 at Madison Square Garden. You've got the New York Knicks taking on the Indiana Pacers. Thoughts on the game, thoughts on the series?
Well, the series is one thing, the game is another. But I think you can't ignore. I mean, this team beat New York last season in the playoffs. So New York remembers that.
Injuries.
Yeah, they were injured and they didn't have Karl Anthony Towns. They didn't have Bridges. Those are, 2 really good major additions to this team. Right now, they're healthy. They're at home. This Indiana team too, like they've been off for so long. We always talk about rest versus rust, right? They've been off for like a week. They're the team that could really come out rusty, and I don't think New York is overlooking this game or coming out rusty at all. So I think they throw the first punch and don't look back. I think they can also have a really big edge on the rebounds. And I just think after that first quarter, especially with the crowd and just how everything went last year, they run away with this game. So I like the Knicks in the first one. I'll leave it alone because I don't want to upset you.
I knew you wouldn't go with the Knicks in the series. I knew it. You are too much of a hater. There was
I
no
mean,
way it was going to happen.
they could win, but I'm not
Don't
putting my
you
money
agree
on
with
them to
me
win.
that the NBA does not want to see the Pacers in the NBA Finals?
That
Unless
makes
they
sense
were
to me.
playing the Lakers, unless it was Golden State, then it wouldn't matter. But anyone out of the West is not intriguing people the way the Knicks will out of the East.
I agree with you 100% on that. I think that the NBA would much rather have the Knicks. They can make a lot more money, etc. And that's I agree with.
There's
So you
the
could,
revenge factor. I truthfully, and I'm not a diehard Knicks fan. I just love giving you crap. I really have not been a diehard Knicks fan my whole
yeah, you're
life.
just a
I'm,
Mitchell Robinson fan.
I just love Mitchell Robinson. I love what it's doing for New York. However, I am. I could definitely see the Knicks getting to the NBA Finals and losing.
Yes, I could too. I think that, man, I'll be honest. I don't. There's only one team I don't want to win, I, and it's
It's the
not the
Knicks.
Knicks. It's not the
Oh,
Knicks. It's OKC. I do not
yeah.
want OKC to win at all. I don't think they're that good that they should win the NBA championship. Any other team, I'll be happy for to win. Who I'm rooting
It would
for?
be a great NBA Finals story to have the T-Wolves versus the Knicks for Cat and Randall going head to head.
Yeah. It'll be two teams that won the trade and made it to the finals. That's a pretty good story. I mean, for the script writers, right?
Yeah, it's all about the script. They were saying the NBA ratings were down all year. They've been saying the NBA ratings have been down for years. This would be them coming like baseball's dead, and then they throw Judge versus Ohtani in the World Series. Well, it's like a little bit smaller of a scale than that. No offense. Players that you would target, though, for the Knicks-Pacers game tomorrow.
Good question. I haven't really thought about that, but I think that Cat. I'm unsure. I'm kind of just
Cat's hard.
yeah.
He's a hard
I
one to
don't know.
cap. What about Josh Hart rebounds?
That's always good. I mean, I never gonna talk you off Josh Hart rebounds.
You'll
He's
talk me
pretty
off of it
consistent.
tomorrow. I'll text you tomorrow morning, and you'll be like, nah.
Oh my god.
Hakeem, thank you so much for coming on the show. As always, I appreciate you. I'm sure I will be texting with you maybe throughout the course of the night. Good luck with your bets later, and I'll see you soon.
You too. Thanks for having me.